me check my other computer here.
I'm going to check my phone as well, because I have to do it on my phone. I have no idea why. I really don't have a clue. My ISP literally just hates Twitch. I can watch YouTube stuff. That's fine. But Twitch, it just hates.
Alright, testing volume if you're watching the stream and Kipster is.
Man, I cannot spell at all today for the life of me. There we go.
Can you hear me, Kipster? Can you hear me running? Duran Duran, baby, here we go. Boom!
Can you hear me 30 seconds from now? Oh, come on, stupid Twitch.
Batman!
There we go. Alright. Talk some more.
Batman!
Okay, make sure I have all my notes. Close that. So I don't need that right now.
Talk some more. I am talking because I like to talk about myself. And boom! Seems offline to me, Delt. Well, I'm watching it right now, so I know it's not offline. Let me turn my volume on my laptop up.
Oh, I hear... Oh, I hear myself. Pause that.
Offline to me, Delt. Oh, it's just fine. Well, I'm watching it right now, so I know it's not offline. Let me turn my volume on.
Alright, second monitor. Stop being weird. You know what? That's good. Right there. Done. Since it wants to be weird.
You are weird.
My monitor is now being weird. Oh well. Volume sounds good. Alright, I'm going to start a test recording here real quick.
Roger that.
After I take a big swig of water.
Don't do the Gar intro. Don't ruin that yet.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
That's going to be separate. That'll be when we start.
I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Okay, starting the test recording. And my phone needs to stop that. Alright, test recording for episode 28 of Tales of Tamriel. This week, we didn't do much of anything, really. We went down and hunted all the Oddmar Dominion characters to extinction. They're now all dead, all of them, every single one. And I made Queen Aren my sex slave. Deltia?
I'd make her my sex slave, not gonna lie. For the queen! This is hopefully better volume than last week, blowing people's heads off. Do apologize. I went through about 12 mics now, so hopefully this is better.
Nice. Oh, you still got the Blue Yeti, though, right?
I do for recording, like I did my my guide, but I have to get my dog away, but it's really good for recording that.
Yeah, I have to make sure I manually mute mine every time I type, or you start hearing my mechanical keyboard. All right. Bum bum bum. Okay, I'm gonna stop this and give it a listen. Be right back.
Ooh, almost 1900 there. 1800. Die. For those who have just joined us, Ag listening to a test recording. I don't know if my mic sounds better. I know I was really loud. I apologize last week. I've bought probably 15 mics now, so yeah, this is a Logitech. Hopefully it goes good. So if you hear my keyboard clacking, let me know. If you want me to do something specific in game, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to quest Evan Heart Pack, BR1.
You have fulfilled your purpose. Well done, worm.
There's a grr sound. Are you being serious, or are you trying to mess with me?
Alright, just got done listening to that recording. It sounded perfect. Actually, you sounded pretty much just as loud as I am, and that's a feat for you right there.
Yeah.
At least all the audio was normalized, so it's easy.
Let's do this.
Alright.
Oh, you gonna tweet something out? Say.
Yep. I shall do that. As I frantically try to... I hate you, stupid Galaxy Note 3.
Galaxy
Go
3.
die in a fire.
That's still like 1 year ago.
I got it from work.
I got it from work. Okay, fine. Drop the work bomb on me. Ooh.
Well,
look.
It was
Aspect
kind of
Rune.
a. How did I want to put this? I'm up for an upgrade for my phone. I have a 5S.
Oh yeah.
And I'm contemplating waiting for a 6 because I really love the iTunes Store.
I hate the iTunes Store.
All my Final Fantasies are on it. Like 1 through 6 is on it, so I'm done. Like there. All the games that I played in my childhood are now on iOS, so it's pretty awesome. But anyway, I wasn't sure if I wanted to switch to an Android phone, so my bank's like, hey, we'll buy you one if you use that for your work phone. All right, well, this is what I want. So I kind of got it from them to test out if I wanted to buy one for myself personally.
Nice.
And now I don't like it, and I'm glad I didn't buy it. It's not the Android itself. I like the bigger screen. It's just it doesn't work very well. It kind of does its own thing. Twitch crashes every 5 seconds. I don't know what it's doing. Why can I not type?
This guy's gonna get nuked.
Thank you, autocorrect. There we go. Now Road can't yell at me for typing it wrong. Alright, Khajiit, you gotta get off my desk. Sorry there, sweetie. She's mad at me now. She doesn't love me no more. Ah, there we go. Alright, there's the stream. Looking good. Off my desk. Okay. All right. I'm gonna
Mute your phone.
seriously, phone. Stop it. Just stop it. Yes, I'm going to mute my phone. Mute. 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 No notifications. No system. Just stop it. Oh dear. Here I'm trying to pull up the stream so I can watch it. It's doing its own thing. Who knows? All right. Yes, TES fangirl. I muted my phone. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna start the recording right now. 10 seconds of silence, and then we'll get going.
Roger that.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 28th episode of Tales of Tamriel. I am your host, Aggelos, the OP as crap Templar. And with me this evening, we have Deltia of Deltia's Gaming. He who likes to send tweets about getting a plushy hooker to Bethesda. How are you doing today, Deltia?
Damn you, autocorrect. Hey, good afternoon, guys and gals. Thanks for tuning back in. Excited to be here. Got a new mic. Hopefully I won't blow out your eardrums like last episode. I apologize. Yeah, so I'll be streaming, playing my Nightblade, which I released a video on. So yeah, thanks for having me back.
Excellent. So glad to have you back. And for those who are listening in chat, yes, the yeast is not with us this afternoon. Unfortunately, after last week's episode, we got a phone call that her grandfather is not doing that well. He was unconscious and on a respirator in the hospital with pneumonia. He's only in his early 60s or something like that. So she went down to visit to make sure everything was okay. Visit her mom or grandma because they weren't doing too well with what was happening. Good news, I got a call from her the other night that he is now off the respirator and he's doing okay as much as you can. He's definitely looking better than what he was. So that is why she's not actually here with us this week, but she should be back next week. So, all right, let's go ahead and get right into the news. First off, this week for their community programs, they had another Battlemaster corner, the True Assassin. And pretty much since Deltia is essentially, whether he thinks that he is or not, he's pretty much a permanent member of our hosting team now. So I figured he needed his own corner. And since we all know he loves tearing apart guides and builds, this is kind of his corner now. Whenever they do a Battlemaster corner, I've asked Deltia to kind of rip into the build that they're showing and possibly come up with a newer one. So Deltia, I know you read over the True Assassin a little bit. Do you want to give us a little synopsis of what he was going for, and then you can kind of dig into it?
Sure. Yeah, he played like a Nightblade, kind of like me. Very similar build, except a couple key abilities he doesn't have. But really just trying to do this sneaky assassin thing, like typical cookie cutter Nightblade rogue class type of build. He's using a lot of ranged, a lot of stamina-based attacks, and then dual wield for melee. Nothing really unique here. Basically, his first bar is bow. My build I just released today. My guide is coming out. I called him One Shot Willie. And he's leaving a couple things out that I think would be really important on a bow. Basically, when you're using a bow, like I got mine, what the new patch did screw up bows animations too. If you're watching the stream, you'll see some of this. Basically, you need to put casters off range, knock back, and then a big opener. The other two abilities are kind of open depending on what you do. Usually a debuff of some sort. Then some way to get resources back is a really good way to have a range combination. So his way to do that, he does have some of the key abilities, but I notice he doesn't have, that I'm going to use right now, is Mark Target. That's an assassin ability that basically strips the character of armor. So I just hit him, and it gives you like basically 75% of the health back for when you kill them. It's literally, if you do that and then hit them with the killer's blade, you'll go to full health. And they don't have any armor. So my build is kind of like prepping targets with that, and then you run in with your melee attacks and try to kill them in one shot, because then they don't have any armor to defend themselves. I just hit for 1900 that wolf, you'll see in about 30 seconds. So I think he could improve on that. Otherwise, he has a pretty good, solid rotation. He uses Swallow Souls, which I really don't recommend soloing, just because I like different abilities, the concealed weapon to move fast. But really, I think it's a pretty solid Nightblade build. He uses silver bolts, which I wouldn't put on my bar normally, just because it's good against Daedra, but not the best type of ability. Unless you morph it to get the leash, then it's really powerful. So I like it, but I did do a counter to it, and I posted it on my Twitter account. I guess I could show you guys later that too, but I don't know, the builds that they're putting out there, I've submitted like 30 of them now. They're getting to be a little cookie cutter. and not really the big powerful ones. So I don't know what they're looking for. Elder Scrolls truly is a game that you can do anything. That's one of the reasons I love it, is Nightblade can heal, tank, DPS, whatever. A Templar can DPS. I mean, so you're free. I would like to see builds that, like a Dragon Knight stealth class. I want to see builds that are out of the box, out of the typical norm type thing. That would be more interesting to me. Or Nightblade Healer. Something like that. And so that's kind of what I do. On my guides, I usually do a cookie cutter, really effective build, and then two things like outside of the box, like I did with my Dragon Knight. So I'm just learning the Nightblade too, because I don't know it well enough to really be the expert at it yet. So I'm going to keep sticking with it till VR12, and then hopefully then I can really be, fluent in all the abilities. Because as a range person, there's an ability that you can summon a shade, and then you can teleport back to it. Now imagine that, when an enemy's chasing you down and you can't knock them back or stun them, boom, do a teleport. That's pretty cool. So there's some room for improvement with the guy's build, but so far pretty good.
Thank kind. Just give me a second.
Nice. Now I do have one question. I've been playing around with the bow a little bit, and he has snipe on his bar. Do you like that ability? I think it's a giant POS, to be honest.
Love it. Why is snipe important? Yeah, snipe's huge. It's
really?
It's huge in PvP. If you like to PvP, it's huge. Why? Because really, in the game, there's really nothing to have a heal debuff. There's very limited abilities to have a heal debuff. So, if you're rolling in a PvP group, you have to have a marksman. Someone that can heal debuff with snipe, one of the morphs. I forget what it's called. And then a Nightblade can also strip him of armor. So if you do that shot snipe, you can literally one-shot him based off your weapon attack power. Plus, in PvP, what does it do? It adds range to them. So if you're guarding a keep, that target can now be hit at a further range. That's why it's important. It's really a good PvP ability, to be honest with you. PvE, you could probably have something else there. But if you're going to do PvP, that's a deadly ability to have. Because there's also some PvP set bonuses where my friend can literally hit an enemy 50 meters away in PvP. So when he's defending the keep, he will nuke you one shot on his Nightblade. So if you see a big glowing red beam over your head, get ready.
I've been mostly doing, I've been leveling my Nightblade in PvE, of course. And I got sniped, and I found it to be pretty much worthless. Like, one shot, if you get an opening, that's great. But it seemed like it seemed like the stamina cost was too high for the amount of damage it did. My poison arrow cost a third of that amount, and then with the dot, actually, I could cast 3 of those, and the amount of damage I'd get from one snipe. So I didn't find it all that useful, but apparently I guess it is.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Remember, my build's called One Shot Willy. What am I trying to do? Kill something in one shot. Well, snipe is the hardest hitting attack in the game, almost. So if you're trying to do that, and as a Nightblade, I can strip them of armor, and they don't react to it. So if you're watching the stream 30 seconds from now, you'll see what I'm doing. So I'll hit him, got him stripped of armor, peel back, snipe, boom. 1100 damage. Closes the distance, and dead. That's why snipe's good.
I guess I'll have to give it another shot. And as I'm just going down through his build, and you're definitely helping me out with my Nightblade because I'm leveling him up. Silver bolts I wouldn't use for anything. It's too much stamina cost for what it actually does.
Yep.
But you don't like Strife?
Nope, I don't. Because Killer's Blade, Reaper, Mark Target is such a better ability. Mark Target strips someone of armor. Yes, it strips you of armor too, but the health return you get for it is much more impressive than Swallow Souls or whatever the morph is. However, it's really good if you're a tank and you're getting healed in a PvE group because it increases the amount of healing you get. So I can see that, but there's just other abilities that are too important for me to use that slot for. I don't like it.
Alright, I see.
But there's no perfect build, it's just your playstyle.
Right. Well, I've been generally playing a you know, as I'm leveling up kind of the solo survivalist kind of build where, yeah, I'm a DPS build ranged and I need to keep myself alive. And I've been using that a lot to actually keep me up. And it's been doing a pretty good job. Like 15.
Yeah, at 15, it's fantastic because you got a good steady stream of health. It has tons of range. But then when you get up and you get leeching strikes, now when you hit anyone, you get magic, health, and stamina back. That's really good.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll take your word on that and try that out. Next up, can you tell me why Shadow Cloak is good? I don't think it's good.
Shadow Cloak. I use Dark Cloak. What is Shadow Cloak, the first instance or the other one?
It doesn't matter. I don't think the ability's good at all.
Really? What? Why not?
It doesn't, like, when I'm using it, I'm thinking half the time what it's supposed to do is allows me to go instant invisible, which if you have some of the passives that increase your armor and attack power and stuff when you're coming out of stealth, I think that's supposed to help. But half the time it doesn't last long enough for me to even get an attack off to get a stealth bonus. And sometimes it just breaks for no random reason. It just, you know, you hit it and it's gone.
Yeah. There's a combo. Basically, if you're watching the stream, you'll see what I do over and over and over and over and over again. I use Dark Cloak, which is basically takes removes 3 dots or effects over me. So as a vampire, that's huge. What I do is I run up to him on stealth, then I'll hit him with concealed weapon. That will stun him. Now, when they get unstunned, I'll stealth, hit them with concealed weapon again. That's the hit that's generating 1900 damage there. That's the combo. So, why is it important? Because you can basically burst damage for 1900 over and over and over as long as you have Magicka. So, you can literally 2-3 shot bosses just doing that 2 ability button thing is all you have to do. So, Dark Cloak, concealed weapon. Dark Cloak, concealed weapon. Dark Cloak, concealed weapon. Things die.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit because, yeah, to me it just doesn't seem that great in ability. Albeit when I was looking at the morphs, I think is it the Dark Cloak that gives your next attack? I can't remember if it's like an auto crit or if it just is a lot extra damage. I can't remember what the ability is.
There's 2 morphs. One is 90% crit, which is a huge waste because my crit's at 70% anyways, so I don't take that one. The other one is really good, which is removes hindering effects. So basically, if you have a dot on you, or you have something else on you, you can remove that. It's like a purge, basically, which there's very little of in the game. So I take that because if I'm trying to stealth out of combat, or I'm a vampire and got some flame damage on me, boom, stealth, hit that, come back into combat, I'm good.
Okay, well, so do you get the impression that what most people do, that Nightblades are underpowered?
Every class is really good, even Templars. That was a joke. I think you just got to play it. I mean, you just got to play a lot. All these little tips and tricks that I'm showing you guys, I've either learned or asked tons of people who are better than me. I'm not the best at this game by any means, but I'll ask people who are. I'm not afraid to admit it. You know, I'll ask Kipster in the guild, Brandon in the guild. I'll ask the top players that are doing trials and are, you know, really good. What are they using and why? My buddy Chaz, who does really awesome at PvP, and these are what these guys are telling me. So I'll take their information and kind of combine it with my own build. But that's all I'm learning. So you just got to play around and see what works for you. You know, is this build perfect for everyone? No. But hey, it's Elder Scrolls Online. There is no spec tree. You get to do what you want. That's why this game rocks.
I definitely agree. I love being able to just pick up anything I can find and just play with it. That's what I did a lot on my Templar when I first started playing. Was I bought like every ability I could just to see what it would do and how I could use it. I'd buy an ability, go, what does this do? Some were, oh, this is awesome, and I can't ever stop putting it down. Others were like, well, that has situational use at best, and I probably never touched it again. So, yeah, Kipster was asking, what skill is concealed weapon in the chat?
Yeah, I'm showing it on the stream. It's basically the second ability in the Shadow that's morphed, and it allows a passive bonus for speed, and then also a stun, too.
Gotcha. I think we're going to have a talk about Nightblades after the show, because I think I need some help.
Well, real quick, I mean, You know, everyone's like, oh, this class is underpowered, this class is underpowered. Nightblade is not underpowered. It has the most health return almost possible off of a kill, and it's the fastest class. It hits the hardest in the game. The hardest hitting class in the game. You just have to play it right. If you're playing a Nightblade stealth guy, you're not the main tank. Don't play it like a main tank. Pick a target that's off on their own, derping around, and nuke them. That's what the stealth class is for. You got to play your playstyle right, you know, and take time doing it. You don't learn this stuff overnight, and it's okay. But try different abilities, try different combinations. Don't get stuck in the same routine over and over. You know, what's the good old saying? If it's not working, don't do it. And if it is working, try to do it better. That's all I have to say about that.
Right on, right on. All right, so that was the Battlemaster's Corner, the true assassin. So we're going to move on to the next little bit of news. Probably one of my favorite, again, Deltia, I know me and you were talking about this. Nightingale Statue pre-orders are now available. The second in Gaming Head series of Skyrim statues available for pre-order now. Clad in a full set of Nightingale armor, this Master Thief perches on a rocky outcropping, plotting his next endeavor. It's a 16-inch tall statue, and there's both a standard and an exclusive edition. The exclusive edition features a lit base that creates an effect of gently flowing water. It does look pretty sweet. They are all hand-numbered, and there's only 1,000 of the standard edition and 500 of the exclusive editions available. Now, for those of you who are thinking of getting them, I hope you have a little bit of extra dough laying around, because the standard edition is $300. And the exclusive edition is $330. So I guess if you're really going to go for it. Yeah, the Nightblade one.
I thought it was 100.
Nope.
Oh my god.
$329.99 for the exclusive edition. I think when we saw it earlier, the $100 is what you have to put down as a deposit.
Oh my, yeah, these guys.
Yeah. Again, I love the physical swag from this stuff. I absolutely love it. But some of the things are just a little out of my price range. Yeah. Like these right here. That's a lot of cheddar. And $300 could go a good way towards like maybe a new video card or something for me. So I'm like, no. But definitely, I still love this kind of stuff. Do you have any of the statues, Deltia?
Well, I have the Moloch Ball one, but I haven't bought any of their ones. I was gonna buy this because I saw it's $100, but I didn't realize that's the down payment. So yeah, I probably won't be buying that either.
Right. Yeah. It makes me just wish I had more expendable income, because I probably would have bought it.
Yeah, but then we'd have to work more, and then we couldn't play this game. So there's a fine line between work and real life, which is what Elder Scrolls is. Elder Scrolls is real life.
I agree with this. Pretty much I have to take breaks for,
real
work.
life to play. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys. I gotta step away from real life for a moment and do some work. Right on. All right. So again, if you're interested, you can go over to Gaming Heads and get it, or you can go to the Bethesda Store and pick it up. If you do get one, you gotta let me know how it is, because they're pretty awesome. And I know I'm looking in chat right now, and TS Fangirl was like, I would buy the Nightingale in a heartbeat if it was female, but they only have a male one. All right. Next up on the news docket, another one of their community programs, the Guild Spotlight. And I think for the first time ever, they're spotlighting a guild that actually is a fairly big guild. I'm sure most of you might have heard them from other games, because they are a pretty big guild, at least in the competitive scene. Mostly Harmless. So Mostly Harmless, I guess as they say, comes from a Douglas Adams Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where entry into Earth was listed as Harmless, then later revised to Mostly Harmless. They formed in September of 2013. Now, I've seen these guys a lot at a bunch of different conventions and stuff like that. Like in all the PvP competitions, they've been to all that. So I know they are part of the Daggerfall Covenant, but they are a multi-gaming community. I guess there's 80 or so active members in the ESO community, but more obviously in the greater community there. Apparently, they're active mostly during the early morning, or most evenings into the early morning from 6 p.m. Eastern to 3 a.m. is when they have the largest amount of people. They have people from all over the world, and they, as they say, what makes their guild unique? They are incredibly organized and accomplish great things in Cyrodiil while maintaining the idea that nothing we do is mandatory. Yeah, they have won a lot of competitions, a lot of it. I'm trying to think, Delty, did they go to the PvP competition at
that was
QuakeCon?
That was Brandon's guild or Kip's, or I don't remember which one, but one of them did. I don't know who did that or whatever.
I couldn't remember for the life of me which one it was. Oh no, they did. They won the PvP QuakeCon tournament. I'm looking on their site right now. So the Mostly Harmless did win the PvP tournament at QuakeCon.
Give me arenas. We'll see how much I like PvP then.
Apparently, you have to go to one of these conventions to do their idea of arenas.
I'll bring King Full Test there.
Nice. All right, yeah. And Kipster says Brandon and him were in the trials competition during the QuakeCon event. So. Anyway, if you're interested in checking them out, they are on the Guild Spotlight on the official Elder Scrolls Online page. They're also, you can go to their guild website, which is mhguild.com. So essentially, mostlyharmlessguild.com. You should go there, check it out.
Can I say something about competitive guilds?
Absolutely, go for it.
Competitive guilds, I've been in them, I've led them. I'm not doing so currently, just because I have a job. There's a lot that comes with it. Number one, you're going to be asked or forced to play the most overpowered spec, class, whatever. You'll be asked or forced to re-roll when some new patch hits. It's all about what's best for the team, not what's best for you. So while these things sound fun and interesting, takes a lot of the fun out of the game. One, your gear, your look, what you're playing, why, is all based on if you can win or not. So before you rush into one of these top-end guilds, just realize, and they're not going to take your feelings into account when you're not the best on the team. So it's not always the best thing.
And I'm actually gonna follow up with that. I was in one of the top, I guess they were top 25 U.S. rating teams back in 2010. And it is very much true. While they weren't a PvP, they were a PvE-oriented guild. Whenever you join one of these very large guilds, they do have pretty strict rules, whether or not they say that or not. You may not have to attend their stuff to be part of the guild, but if you want to be part of the guild that actually does stuff, you have to. Our raid team that we were on raided 5 nights a week, and you had to maintain a 98% activity over a 3-month period. That was 2 raids you could miss in 3 months. If you missed more than that, you were off the team.
It's a job.
Not only that, but as Delty said, when patches came out, I played a Retribution Paladin in Warcraft. I sat out for an entire raid tier because my class got nerfed to Oblivion, and they wouldn't take me as a DPS. So I had to sit out for an entire raid tier, which definitely was not very fun, but it is true. They're like, if you want to come back in, you have to level up whatever it was at the time. I forget what it was. And I was like, you know what? By the time I leveled it up, it'd probably be changed anyway. But yeah, it is. If you join one of these, they often, these guilds are separated by sex, if you will. You're part of the family, but you're kind of a casual, or you're part of the group that does stuff. And if you are part of the group that is actually doing all the things that make them famous, be prepared for either a very, very tight schedule or, like you said,
it's like having a job. It really is, and that's usually when I walk away, is when I get really, 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 really good. And then all the guilds, they come and go really fast. All the PvP guilds. Why? Because everyone thinks they're better than everyone else. Once PvPers stop winning, start losing, the fingers start getting pointed. Well, your tanking sucks. Your DPS sucks. You suck. I hate you. Blah blah blah. And then it becomes, is this a competitive baseball team, or am I playing a game for fun? You know what I mean? So I don't know why I'm going on this rant, but that's why I'm not doing it in this game. I refuse to do it. I don't want this to be a job. I make YouTube videos and guides because I love the community and think what I have is maybe useful for some people. But I'm not turning this game into a job.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've all done that at one point or the other. And
Yep.
while I like to play a lot, I still do like to... If I were part of a hardcore raiding team right now, I'd have been kicked out by now by how slow I've been leveling in ESO.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
wait, you listen to the voice? No, just skip over and get to max level right away. But I didn't. I would have been kicked out by now. That's just how it goes. Okay, on a little bit of a lighter topic, the last bit of news we have for this week is another Adventurer Handbook from their community program, which is the Adventurer's Handbook issue number 7. And this week they're back with more guides created by players, obviously not Deltia, like you to assist you in your travels in Tamriel.
Bastards.
There's a lot to do in ESO, and we know that everyone can use a little helping hand along the way. Check out these guides, you might learn more. First up today, they have a guide, helpful guide to status effects, which is on the official Elder Scrolls Online forum, Status Effects NU, that will show you, show that your character may have and subject, or maybe subject to, and how to deal with them. Player Cinna has compiled them into a neat list that describes the effects and several methods you can use to break or avoid them altogether. Definitely a handy reference for any adventurer. I'm actually going to pull this up right now because I do kind of want to look. I'm curious if they use add-ons or if they're using the default UI. And there's no screenshots. Okay, that's not really helpful. One of the things I think they really should do is create a helpful guide for people that shows when you have a status effect and what your UI looks like unmodded. Those of us who use Foundry Tactical Combat and stuff like that can see the buffs. We can kind of see how it goes. But ESO itself, built into its UI, has little special effects built into it to tell you when you have a status effect upon you, such as... I think rend armor, your health bar is cracked and looks like it's shattered. I think shield, when you get like a shield around you or something along those lines, like a damage shield, your health bar gets like a big thick border around it. There's a whole bunch of these little subtle effects that'd be kind of neat if someone actually did a screenshot gallery. Maybe Deltia, that might be an idea for you. Of what your UI looks like, the default UI looks like when you have these status effects. I think that would have been a little bit more useful than just listing them out, personally. Next up, everyone can use a friend during a tough journey, and a person on Reddit has put a guide together of all the vanity pets and how you currently obtain them. I'm going to go ahead.
It's Jello.